Close your eyes and imagine the final whistle echoing across the stadium. The Arsenal players collapsing in a heat of pure elation as the strains of North London Forever erupts from the stands. A defiant roar against years of taunts. This isn't just about a trophy, it's sweet, sweet vengeance for every bit of banter, every reminder of the one piece of silver we're missing. Feel the shift, the undeniable turning point as Arsenal, Champions League winners, ascend to a new era of glory. Yeah, I used AI. But damn, that was pretty good, wasn't it? Today I wanted to make a video on why Arsenal are serious contenders for this Champions League. Why Arsenal are going to win the Champions League. I mean, it's no secret. Arsenal are the biggest club in the world with no Champions League, with no European pedigree. I mean, we won the Cup Winners' Cup in 1994 against Parma, but I'm not sure that counts. We made it to a Champions League final in 2006 playing Barcelona, and let's just say we failed miserably. Some say the referees were corrupt, some say Barcelona were just too good, some say, you know, our best players kind of ghosted that game. I mean, look, that was 19 years ago. To put it in perspective, I'm 20 years old. So I was, 1 year old when it happened? But could we see a rematch between Arsenal and Barcelona in the Champions League final this year? Arsenal are playing PSG in the semi-finals. Barcelona are playing Inter Milan. Could we see the actual Remontada? We've been hearing Remontada all week when it came to Real Madrid. Real Madrid were like, we're going to pull the Remontada. It wasn't for that game. Remontada, yes, but not Arsenal, Real Madrid. Arsenal, Barcelona. Okay, maybe I'm getting a little bit too ahead of myself. But could we see an actual Remontada from Arsenal, or yet another year of misery, of pain, of not winning a Champions League? I mean, look, when I look at Arsenal's performances this season in Champions League, we've actually been pretty good. A 2-0 win against PSG, a 5-1 win against Sporting, a 3-0 win against Monaco, 3-0 win against Dynamo Zagreb, 9-3 against PSV in the round of 16. That is no joke, that is ridiculous. And of course, the biggest game of all, the biggest humiliation ritual of all, 5-1 against the holders of the Champions League, against Real Madrid. Absolutely humiliated them in front of the entire world to see. We're now in the Champions League semi-finals against PSG, a team we already beat. Yes, they were very different from then, but at the end of the day, we still beat them. But we are missing some really key players for that game. Gabriel Magalhaes, Kai Havertz, Gabriel Jesus, and of course, Thomas Partey will be missing the first leg because he did get a yellow card against Real Madrid in the second leg, which meant he is suspended for the first leg against PSG, which is a big loss. I mean, looking at our recent fixtures, the way we've been playing in the Premier League compared to the Champions League, you can tell the players are really focused on the Champions League. They couldn't care less about the Premier League. We're drawing games left, right and centre. That's 13 draws in the league for us. We're throwing away the Premier League. The Champions League is our only focus, which is a little bit, I like to see that a little bit, but at the same time, it's quite depressing whenever we do have a Premier League game because the players just don't care. I made a predictions video before, you can check it out, but I'm going to say it again. Arsenal, in the first leg, we're home against PSG. We're going to win 2-1. It's going to be a good game. Arsenal are going to dominate most of the game, I think. And in the second leg, PSG take it away in the Parc des Princes and they win 2-1. It's going to go extra time. Both teams, 3-3. Both teams trying to go for the win in extra time. They're not trying to let it go to penalties. The penalties has a fear of the unknown. Teams don't know who's going to win. Anyone can win on penalties. So both teams are going to try and go for the win. And yes, both teams do score. It will be 4-4 going into penalties. The thing that neither team wanted. But I do think Arsenal will edge it against PSG in penalty shootouts. And then we have Barcelona versus Inter Milan on the other side. I do have Barcelona winning that game, only just. And if there was a team that I didn't want to play out of all the teams available, it'd be Inter Milan. So I'd be wanting to avoid them. And now we have Arsenal versus Barcelona in the Champions League final, the Remontada for Arsenal. These players can avenge the squad in 2006. Can they do it? This is what we like to call the Real Remontada. I mean, look, when it comes to Arsenal, yes, we're missing a lot of key players. Yes, we haven't been at our best this season. But there's one thing you can't take away from us. We can win games in so many different ways. We can play that terrorist football, park the bus, get every single man behind the ball, concentrate for 60 minutes straight. We saw it against Manchester City. We went down to 10 men and we parked the bus, terrorist football, for 60 plus minutes. I've never seen something like that before in my life until City got a jammy goal in the end. But that level of defending, Arsenal can do. Also play possession-based football. We can end a game with 80% possession. We saw it against Ipswich the other day. We've seen it across the years. Arsenal are a very secure side when it comes to maintaining the ball, positioning, moving the ball left and right, keeping play, dictating play. We've got the players for it. We can also play that tiki-taka football, which Barcelona are the team that are known for tiki-taka, but Arsenal are too, and we're very good at it, if the players want to. Of course, Martinelli's back to his best, Bukayo Saka's been on fire since returning, absolutely dismantling Real Madrid. Declan Rice has been on another level these past few months. We've seen it against Real Madrid, we've seen it even in the Premier League games. He's taken his game to another level. We're going to need that if we are going to be in the finals of the Champions League. We also have one of the best defensive fullback duos in the Champions League, in the world right now. Miles Lewis-Skelly and Jurrien Timber. If any winger goes up against them, I'm confident. And we could be seeing something really interesting. Miles Lewis-Skelly versus Lamine Yamal. I'd want to watch that. That's going to feed families. That's going to be a crazy showdown. There is actually a big chance that Arsenal can win the Champions League. And I know rival fans are burning at the fact that that's the truth. But it is the truth. And I know they know it's the truth. That Real Madrid game, I feel like it's a shift in this Arsenal team's mentality. We've always been known as a team that's soft, as a team that bowls it when we come up against big clubs, big teams in the big stages. For example, of the Champions League, when it comes to the end of a Premier League season, we start to fumble it. We've seen it 2 seasons ago. But this season, for us to humiliate Real Madrid in front of the entire world to see 5-1, not only beating them 3-0 at the Emirates, beating them at their home ground when all they've been talking about is Remontada, this is a mentality shift. This is a mentality breaker. And I think this is a new Arsenal side. Which means we could probably go on to win the Champions League, and I wouldn't be too surprised. Arsenal can very well win the Champions League. It just depends on the players, it depends on the gaffer, whether or not they choose to turn up in these remaining 3 games. Our final game at the Emirates in the Champions League is on Tuesday against PSG. Hopefully we win that. Then we have PSG away, and then there's a Champions League final. Hopefully we can get there and win it for the first time in our career, because I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of being bantered as the club with no European glory. Champions of Europe, you'll never sing that. I never want to hear that again. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. Are Arsenal going to win the Champions League? Guys, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. I saw a statistic in my last video. 97% of you are not subscribed. Help me get to 1k subscribers. We're on 400 right now. The growth has been pretty good so far.